What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaks and Stats podcast. I am the one and only Julian Statty Daddy.
And
to my left,
I am Sneaker Peteronovich.
thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday. Do not forget to check us out on YouTube, like and subscribe if you're watching this there. We're also on Instagram a lot, so if you guys want some more fun content, check us out there at Sneaks and Stats on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X is Twitter,
and
Threads. Yes. So check us out if you guys want some more cool sneaker content. We got all the good stuff.
Let us know whatever's on your mind.
Yes. Comment, let us know what shoes you'd like to hear us talk about, or if you guys have any new buys, let us know. We'd love to see them. But enough of all that fun stuff. No fun allowed. This is a no fun podcast.
No.
It's strictly business.
No smiling. Get that smile off your face.
Make me.
Yeah, make me. Ooh.
But we are back. We're going to cover, and we missed last week. Sorry about that, but we're going to...
Missed you guys.
Yes, we did miss you guys. We're going to cover the happenings of the NBA once again. See what's new, what's hot, what's fresh.
I don't know if we'll get it all, but a lot of really fun stuff has happened so far in these last week and a half.
Yeah, it's been some interesting stuff. Pick that up. Some interesting stuff in the NBA, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. We have the emergence of new stars. The rookies are playing well. Yeah. We had the first day of the in-season tournament with some weird-looking courts and weird-looking jerseys.
Yeah, we'll get into all that. That's for sure.
Yes.
To start us off here, though, I want to go over some new releases that have come out in the last week or so.
Yes, sir.
Starting off with none other than the Air Jordan 1 Reimagined Royal.
Mm-hmm. So, me and Julie kind of have a difference of opinion on this one. I like the all suede, right? But what did you say that you didn't like? It's all suede.
That it's all suede. Yeah. I just think it looks. To me, it almost looks like a knockoff.
Yeah.
In a way, just because you're so used to seeing, especially a Jordan 1 with, if not all leather, mostly.
Yes.
I have a mid that's a special edition that's like it has a lot of suede on it, but it also has a lot of canvas, and I guess it makes it a little bit different. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
So I agree with you on the material because if you're gonna go and bring back an OG, you should bring it back in the way that it was. I also understand the whole reimagined series that Nike and Jordan are doing right now, with all the OGs that they're reimagining with different material and different looks. So I get that. Maybe I'm just a homer because I love the Royals so much. It's in my Grail list. So yeah, I like them. And also not too expensive right now.
No, they're reselling for not too much, but even retail, they're still super available for $180 from Nike or the Sneakers app.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be cool if maybe you could keep all the blue accents suede.
Yeah.
And then maybe do the rest like leather.
The black leather would have been sick.
Because even if you did like a suede blue toe, that'd have been sick. But like if this was leather, you know.
Yeah. No, that would have been.
If the toe was leather.
That would have been the perfect match, I think. But
I think it would have been cool.
They're just make the whole thing suede.
Yeah.
But again, one of the cleanest colorways. They're listening to the people. They released another OG colorway. So cool. Another cool drop that they made.
Very cool to have stuff like this coming out. Second pair, a little bit different for us. Kind of maybe a little bit of a fancy shoe.
Let's see.
The Adidas collaboration with Wales Bonner?
Bonner. No relation to Matt Bonner.
No relation to Matt Bonner.
I'm so happy that you put these up. So I was looking at these last night. There's 4 of them.
Yes, there's 4 of them.
I'm kind of the crazy shoe guy. I like the leopard one.
You like the leopard one?
I like the cheetah one. Sorry.
Yeah, I like the material on it. I don't, because it didn't seem to have this like
the hair,
human hair on it.
From an old person.
I like this colorway. I think it's cool to have like a
color.
cream and like this really rich like mahogany almost.
Okay, Ron Burgundy.
Burgundy, a really
Smells of rich mahogany.
It's a rich. It actually is kind of a burgundy.
It's a burgundy too, yeah. But you can't go wrong with cream and burgundy, dude. Like those two are actually really good together.
That hair, and it looks like the liner is like satin.
I like that.
It's kind of weird to me. It's not bad.
It makes it soft.
Yeah, that's true. But the hair texture.
Yeah,
that might throw me off a little bit.
So I was never a fan of when they put like the hairs on the shoe. There's a Jordan 4 that we talked about recently that is almost like an all black that has that type of material too, where it's almost like the hair. And I'm like, it just it seems weird, almost like I'm.
It would feel. I feel like it would feel weird every time I put it on.
Yeah,
I'd be uncomfortable.
And then I also am not sure of how it'll be after a bunch of wears. Like how does the wear and tear look on the shoe on that?
And
right?
these are.
But those are sick, dude.
These are a little more expensive. These are $200 a pop right now for the 4 colorways of these kind of Samba mashups that they got. I do kind of like the tongue kind of folded over.
Yeah, that's like the golf tongue for a golf shoe. I mean, also Adidas has been dropping a lot of really cool stuff lately. This being one of the releases. I hope it's not in there, but you showed me the Grinch. Yeah, they have. I haven't got those out. Forums.
I was gonna wait a little bit, but yeah, they have a Grinch release.
Amazing. That colorway is awesome, and also all the Bad Bunny stuff that's coming out that he barely missed on a lot of the shoes. He chose good silhouettes, and shout out to Adidas, man. They're pumping out some good collabs and coming out with some really cool stuff, and they're listening to the people too. All the old silhouettes are what they're kind of releasing.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's kind of all like designer collabs, Yeah. Like they had that, the one with they had the Homer meme one, and that was a designer collab. I don't remember who it was exactly that was doing that one, but
they have the
super funny
South Park Towley.
Yeah.
They have that, and they also have. Like I said, the Bad Bunny stuff, but also, who was the other one that I saw? Oh, the corn stuff also.
Oh yeah, the corn stuff was cool.
Yeah.
And then I got one more pair here to kind of cover our new release schedule here, and this one is for the ballers and the shot callers and the fun guys.
Ooh.
I was super curious to see what you thought about these.
I would wear it.
The Kawhi 3.
Yeah.
New Balance Kawhi 3. Mm-hmm. It looks like another 3.
It does.
Like a lot.
You know what, dude? The upper kind of reminds me of a Jordan, to be honest.
I think all of this right here looks so much like
a
the Jordan
3. Yes. This too reminds me of like the 6 and the 7. You know what I mean?
The bottom though, I'm like looking at that. I'm like the triangle.
Yeah.
Different colors like that are meeting. Mm-hmm. That is a Jordan 3.
Oh yeah. Man. Yeah. They. I want to be in the room for that meeting of the design. Right. But a nice looking shoe. It's a New Balance. New Balance is very good when in terms of using the materials for comfort. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine a New Balance basketball shoe would be really comfortable to wear.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it has to be, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of interesting. This is Kawhi. It's the 3, but the last New Balance we talked about was during our playoff episode way long ago, and he was wearing the 2-way 3. So it's I don't. Do you know when the Kawhi 2 came out? Because it must have been a while if he wasn't even wearing it during his last playoff run.
I would imagine it came out during his Toronto.
You think so? That
maybe.
Long ago?
Yeah, I have to look back at my notes.
But it's clearly been a while since they've done a signature Kawhi shoe.
Yeah, and even though he's injured, it doesn't matter if a player is injured, they'll continue with the line. Yeah. Just like Kobe. And
maybe New Balance has decided not to do that.
Yeah.
Could be smart, to like
save it.
It's like if he's not playing, maybe it won't sell. But
true. Yeah.
What do I know?
Mm-hmm. He is actually one of those players that's actually been playing pretty good this season. He also is playing back-to-backs.
Yeah, and man, he's just playing like that's.
And it's great to see.
That's the biggest part of it is that like his biggest thing in the last few years is like he's just not playing.
Yeah.
And it's still early. He's got 7 games under his belt, but it's all 7. So
yeah, good. I mean, good for them.
Impressive.
And it's good for the fans because, like we said, you want to be able to see all the stars playing. So Cool. Good for the Clippers. We haven't seen, and then good to see that his knee is holding up so far.
These right now are selling on NewBalance.com for $160. They just came out on the 8th, which was yesterday for us when we recorded this.
Yeah.
$160 is a little expensive for me when I can get a Tatum 1 for less than that. Tatum 1s are $120 right now. I can get a Luka 2 for less than that. Those are like $120. 125-ish.
Yeah. Rigor 100.
Rigor is 110, I think, the AR ones.
Even the older Kyries are like a Greek Freak is cheap too.
So it seems like a bit much for a performance basketball shoe. Granted, like, he's up there with the LeBron and the KDs, and their prices are approaching or exceeding 160. But
I would,
for someone whose shoe line you just don't hear a lot about, it seems
like a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Also, I would imagine too, for a performance shoe, I understand that why it's up a little bit. And like I said earlier, New Balance uses a lot of their own material that they've created to make it comfortable.
Yeah.
So I imagine with the stuff that they put into this shoe, why the price goes up. But then again, a LeBron is like $200. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, good looking shoe. Just a little bit of a copycat, I think.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, a really pretty shoe. I like the design, and it does remind us a lot of a Jordan.
Yeah.
So.
But that's it. That's it for. I just wanted to highlight a few new releases for you guys. Let us know if there's anything that strikes your fancy that you think you might end up getting.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments and send us a picture if you want. We'd be happy to see what you guys got.
Yeah, and hopefully if you guys were in the market for a shoe that one of these, you guys made a decision.
And now to move on to another newer section for us, trying to give us a little identity. I want to play a game with EJ.
Yes.
That we are fondly calling Cop
or
Drop.
Not. Or Drop. I said not or Drop. Yeah.
Take two.
Yeah.
Cop or Drop.
Or Drop.
Anyways, I've got two shoes lined up for EJ. He's going to have to pick one to cop.
Put on my judge
and one to drop.
Gown.
Head to head here.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it all in the same family for this first pair, so I've got
I'm ready.
Two new Dunk releases for you.
Okay.
The special edition up top, it almost looks like a plaid it's like a tweed and plaid looking thing. They're calling it the Midnight Navy, Pale Ivory, Baroque Brown, and Ale Brown.
Yes.
Versus on the bottom here we have the Cool Gray, Industrial Blue,
Anthracite.
Yes.
Yes.
And the Pure Platinum for the swoosh, they're calling it.
Okay, so let me just say first, both colorways I think are both well done.
I would
Good job.
agree. They're very well executed.
Yes. They could have easily went like overboard with this guy here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is very similar to an OG SB pair that is in my grail list as well. It's called the Futuras. He's a famous artist, Futura, that dropped, and that SB is about a couple thousand now.
Wow.
Looks exactly like that.
Really?
But that is amazing. I am going to. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at these last night and also found out that there is a Air Force One in the same colorway.
Oh, that could be interesting.
And the Air Force One, I think, would be the one that I buy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Cop, the Anthracites, and probably drop the Tweeds. But doesn't mean I wouldn't buy that. You're putting me in a tough spot.
It's a tough spot.
It's very tough, especially with two shoes that I like. I like both. So.
Yeah, they're both. I agree with what you said. They're both very well executed. This is a little much for me, probably. I feel like I need to be in a yacht club or something.
Like your outfit right now would be perfect for that.
Probably,
toned down outfit with a crazy shoe is how you do it.
But I'm gonna go the same way as you, and I actually might for real life cop those because I do not own a pair of Dunks.
Yeah,
and they're not SBs, so they will have a 12.5.
Hit that GoFundMe, guys. I'm kidding. We don't have one.
Smash that subscribe button, baby. Get some ad revenue up in here.
It's the dunk revenue fund for Julie, dude.
But let us know what you guys think. If you agree, if you would cop the Anthracites and drop the Tweeds.
Yeah.
And let us know for next week if you guys have a pair or 2 pairs you want to see go head to head. Let us know, what's...
Give us, drop 2 pairs and we'll throw it.
We'll see. We'll do a little copper drop.
Yeah.
But that's it. I'm glad we got that
favorite part
settled.
Of that, favorite material on that shoe.
Definitely the kind of gray.
Yes. Yeah. And then after that, for me, the corduroy.
Yeah.
Swoosh.
It almost looks like denim or something.
Yes.
On the base too.
Yes.
But the corduroy swooshes, they're very cool. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just verging on a little out
There's
there.
that little something. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was hoping, because I love this on suits. Have you seen that? You know what I mean? But if that was also here, that might have changed things.
It'd be like you could make a sick outfit out of this material.
Oh, for sure.
But putting it all on one shoe is almost a little much.
It's a little much. Plus, they did good with the colorways. I like the browns and the grays.
And I do just like these for myself. Like if I were to get them, I don't really have a dark shoe. Yeah. Like a lot of mine are white, and I'm tired of them getting scuffed up. And
that's true. You do like more of like the lighter
colors. So I want to get something that's a little darker that can all the pairs of white shoes that I own are getting scuffed up and stuff. So I gotta work on that.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, the collection is growing.
And then moving it along here again, we'll get into just kind of, I just want to talk a little bit about some, the league a little bit. We mentioned it at the top of the episode. Yeah. That there's been some fun stuff happening. Yeah. Mid-season tournament is upon us. It's still, honestly, a little confusing for me.
Yeah. Even, who was it? Tyrese Maxey? Was it him? Or
Halliburton, I think.
No, there's
other Tyrese.
No, there's a player, and he was like, honestly, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Maxey.
Or one of those.
But Halliburton said whoever wins should get an automatic playoff berth.
I like that.
That's a little too much for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Baseball does it with All-Star Game.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. So it's
that's
a good incentive, I think.
Because in the All-Star Game, it's still, for MLB, it's AL versus NL.
Yes.
And whoever wins gets home field advantage.
True.
That's fine because it only really affects the World Series.
Yes.
And it's like, it's kind of just fun. It's a little gimmicky, But it makes it, there's incentive. Like, if you're, on the Dodgers, you want to win the All-Star Game. If you're a Mookie, you're like, I want to make sure, not that the Dodgers have even sniffed the World Series in the last few years, but, it gives you incentive.
My other question is I liked the idea, but if a bad, let's just say a kind of a not too good of a team wins the in-season tournament.
The Hornets.
Yeah, let's just say, just see what happens if they did it. Do they get 10 like in the play-in, or do they get 8? How does that? I mean, then how would they do that?
Yeah, that would
8,
be the
9,
thing.
10, or?
Where do you put them if you were to institute an automatic playoff spot for whoever wins?
And then
it's just too much.
Because then if they're automatic playoff spot, do they play it? Yes. Do they just play?
Cruise the regular season. You don't have to care at all, which is the point of the in-season tournament, is that the NBA wants people to care about the regular season.
Yeah, and they made the incentive at the end, obviously the trophy, but also $500K.
$500K.
Each player.
Each player, I'm sure the staff members, the coaching staff probably gets, probably not $500,000, but something. And that's great for, your guys at the very, very end of the bench that are not guaranteed to have another NBA contract after this, which is on most NBA teams, that's only a handful of guys. So I've heard a lot of people saying like the players should care because it helps out their teammates, but it's just money is not, I don't think, enough to get them to care. I don't think.
Do you feel, because the elimination rounds are all in Vegas, do you feel like the travel would be annoying to the players as well, or would that bother you?
Are they? I thought it was just the
Final Four.
The final was in
just the final. I think it was like the Final Four or something. It's one of, they're playing a few games there, I know. But do you think the travel kind of plays a part in terms of your energy and how tired you are?
Which
is why
probably not. I'm sure actually a lot of
they're like, no, I'm going to Vegas.
A lot of players want to they want to go to Vegas. But I think, I just think, let's see. I think it's smart that they count towards the regular season. But then I think, because like you're going to have the players that it's not anything different for them. Yeah,
True.
let's see. The semifinals and championship will take place in Las Vegas.
So 2 rounds.
So yeah, like you
Okay.
said, Final Four essentially.
That makes sense because then you'd have so many people traveling to Vegas.
So this is what I had kind of thought up yesterday, because I don't think it's bad. I do think the courts and the jerseys are bad, like you brought up.
Yeah.
I get it. You want to emphasize that this is happening, but man, like my least favorite I've seen was the Nuggets jersey. It just looks really poorly designed because it's cool because it's just the elevation of Denver. It's like 59-8 or whatever it is.
I was gonna ask you what's the relation to the numbers to the team and the city?
For Denver, it's the elevation.
That's how
of the
high they
city.
are?
Yeah, it's
5980 or something like that. Or?
Yeah, feet or
So that's how above sea level.
yeah.
I
They're
get it.
5,000.
So I get it.
But it's like down here. It's like on
No,
the,
and it's the whole top.
but it's like it's not
Yeah.
up. At least how they lie on like Jokic.
Yeah.
It's literally like down here,
Yeah.
like under his right tit.
Right.
Like-
like a million numbers on the front.
and it's just and that's it. And it's all black. There's
Yeah.
no other accents. I'm like that just looks bad.
It looks awful.
I just don't like it. And I know people are like it doesn't matter. Like just they're gonna play the game. I'm like they put a lot of money into this. They should have made it good or just let them wear their regular jerseys. The Nuggets have nice jerseys.
I didn't look into it, but do you think they get any type of influence from the outside, from fans and stuff before they make this? I don't think they did.
They probably do like a focus group, like, hey, do you guys like this? But
Yeah.
not before it's already pretty much done.
Because I would kind of listen to the people, man. Like the people love the older looking jerseys. Like
Yeah.
I think they did a great job on Houston's with the H-Town. I like that one.
Oh yeah, those ones that
The
court
one they
was
wore
cool
last
too,
night?
but it was not, and that wasn't part of the in-season tournament. I don't think.
What was the other one that we liked? Oh, the San Antonio one is also nice. It's just a trim of orange with a white jersey. I like that one. But like, you go to like the Indy one, it's like it's a little too playful.
The full block of color too.
Yeah.
On some of these courts is a little distracting.
It's too much
as a viewer. But
like the all red court. Come on,
Yeah.
like
maybe the players like it. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard a lot of negative dialogue, and it comes from the players too, because like you said,
Right.
Maxi's like, I don't know what's going on. Halliburton wishes there was more of an incentive. I know Jaylen Brown had said like nobody cares.
Yeah.
He literally said like I don't care.
yeah,
I think something cool. I don't know. I feel like a way to make it that you care more maybe would be to have it be separate from the regular season. I think if it was me, if I had complete control, I would shorten the regular season because I know the players want that anyways. I would knock out maybe, make it 70 probably would be
yeah.
a sweet spot.
I've definitely thought
60,
about
70.
that. Take out 10 to 12 games.
And you can still have all the teams play each other. It just means Pacific Division teams, for example, maybe instead of playing each other 4 times a year, you knock it back down to 3 or 2 even for however that works.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe start the regular season with the tournament, and the games don't count. You still have preseason. Don't count the games towards the regular season, which then players wouldn't care either because it's essentially just preseason again. But I think to make them care, what I would do is have it be all in one city if you could, like having it all in Vegas, kind of almost how they did the bubble.
Yeah.
Have like a whole day of games every day. So like you start at like 10 a.m.
All in the same city.
All in the same city.
In the same venue.
So that fans
That's
can
pretty dope.
come and like it's not going to be ridiculously expensive like All-Star.
Yeah. Almost like Christmas Day, but in the same place.
But in the same city.
That's dope. I like that.
I think you probably need more of an incentive to make them care. But one thing I think would be cool is that if your record in the tournament, if it's separate from regular season, it should be a tiebreaker. So if you finish the regular season, if the Celtics have 42 wins and the Knicks have 42 wins and they're tied, first, third place or whatever, the next tiebreaker should be, how'd you play in the tournament?
That's
What was your
genius.
tournament record? And maybe you can think of something else to incentivize for winning the whole thing. I'm not really sure what that would be.
I mean, you'll obviously have a trophy.
A trophy is nice, and
The money's nice as well.
And then having a little break, and then maybe have like a week off until the regular season, so that the players, because I think the players would like a break too. But I think I don't know. That would be something that I think would be cool to make it more of an event instead of just something shoved into the regular season.
Yeah.
is have it be like, oh, we're starting the NBA. Here's this cool tournament. It's all in one city.
Yeah.
It's all day for 3 or 4 days until you get to the elimination rounds.
Yeah. Dude, and then
I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be really fun. Make it like the Olympics. Almost.
NBA.
Call me.
This is a great idea. Honestly, I think it's a great idea. Also, that because then it make like you said. I like that you brought up the tiebreaker stuff because then it makes the regular season matchups more meaningful, right? Now if you lose to them, shoot. If we win if we lose the thing, there's a tiebreaker. We lost to them in the regular season. We should have won that game. I think it makes the regular season games more meaningful. And if you have that day where all these games are being played in Vegas, that's what 8 teams worth of merchandise that you can sell in that venue as well, right? So there's another form of being able to sell all those teams merchandise.
I think so.
Tickets, people coming into Vegas for every team.
I think if you just did it in Vegas every year, it becomes.
That's such a good idea. They should have done like that.
It's almost like the Pro Bowl kind of people go to Hawaii to watch that. Not that.
Which is why they're pissed that it's not there no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's if you just have it in one place.
Mm-hmm.
People can come. It can be a whole event, similar to All Star but different.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool. And maybe this might be a bit extreme, but what if the winner, let's say if they won in total
parade.
Let's say the winner wins 5 games, right? You win your group play, and then you win the few elimination rounds and the championship, and you end up with 5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
What if those wins go towards your regular season standings?
Yes.
Not an automatic playoff berth, but it gives you a 5-game cushion over everyone.
Yes.
That still might be a little extreme.
That might be much.
But it's at least incentive. I can't think of another good incentive for these players.
Yes, and it would definitely give the teams, like you said, an incentive to be okay, we should try because if we can get ahead, then maybe we can rest a little bit,
Or maybe
with that cushion.
Maybe give the winner home court in the first round.
There's that, yes.
Just the first round, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you got to make the playoffs, but if you win the tournament, in theory, if everyone's trying, you should win You should be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Dude, that was very thought out. I feel like that's pretty good.
Having it in
I
one
like that.
place and having it all at once makes it better because I was confused. I thought this whole week was tournament play. I didn't know it was just the
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, I was really.
And then there was no NBA on Tuesday.
There was no NBA on Tuesday.
So
which
weird.
is cool. I love that the NBA shuts down for Election Day because they've made a new rule that all of the stadiums have to be used as polling places.
Good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Everyone should get out and vote. So that's great, but it is just confusing to have it broken up in this way.
Yeah, especially when you are expecting tournament games on that day.
But that's
dope, man. Pretty cool. I like that idea you had.
Something else, Celtics look ridiculous with Drew Holiday. One of the craziest starts to an NBA season I've ever seen.
They just barely lost the other night.
They have the the highest ever margin of victory in the NBA so far. It's only 7 games, but they're winning each game by an average of 14.5 points.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. Philly is also super high. They're winning by 13 points. And again,
minus the
sample size.
Also, no distractions over there in Philly anymore.
The highest ever was the 72 Lakers.
Is that the team that won 30 in a row?
Yeah. But looking at something that's a little bit more, I think, indicative of how good they are, is net offensive rating, which essentially is just margin of victory per 100 possessions. Right now, the NBA averages 104, a little bit more than 100. So on a lot of these advanced stats, they shrink it down to just per 100 possessions to make it even across eras specifically. So essentially right now, the Celtics are winning every game was 100 possession, they would be winning by, I think it's 14.3.
Okay.
So it's very similar to what their margin of victory is now.
That's a lot.
27th best all time through the first 6 games of the season.
Dang.
Which is very good.
That's a lot of teams to beat.
Number 1.
Yeah.
All time through the first 6 games of the NBA season. The 2008-2009 Los Angeles Lakers.
Really?
Won, on average, their first 6 games by over 20 points.
Really?
Isn't that
nuts? Is that the first full season? First full season with Powell?
No, that was the second. First, yeah. First full season, because that was our first championship year of that.
Kobe was licking his chops when, you know what I mean?
That 09 team, man. And I know a lot of people like the 2010 team because obviously that championship is legendary.
Of course.
Against the Celtics. But I liked Ariza more than I liked Ron
Me too.
Artest at
Me
that
too.
time, Meta World Peace.
I love you, Ron. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he was great.
I love
he's
Ron.
Such a character for the Lakers and had so many funny moments. But I liked Ariza better for that team.
Mm-hmm.
So that 2009 team, there was pretty much no doubt. I feel like that year, like the only team that had any chance, I think, was LeBron and the Cavs, but didn't even make it to the finals. So.
I respected Dwight, but I was not scared of that Magic team.
No, I was not scared at all.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I thought that was something cool for the Celtics. Just look crazy. They look
amazing. We called it, kind of.
The Wolves look good, which is incredibly surprising. They have a 4-2, 5-2 record.
Mm-hmm. Funny you brought those two teams up. Jaylen Brown postered Gobert the other night.
Yeah. But the Wolves ended up winning, didn't they?
Yeah, they're the ones that gave them the first loss.
Only loss the Celtics have against the Wolves.
Because I also think it's because that Wolves team, their young players are actually playing good, man. You know what I mean?
Nasri is really good.
Nasri is good.
McDaniels is really good.
Mm-hmm. Jaden McDaniels just got paid.
Yeah.
And who are their vets on?
Obviously.
Ant-Man is awesome.
Cat is still Cat. Yeah, he's Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly,
he's Cat.
James Harden is now a member of the Los Angeles Clippers.
And they have not won a game since he was there.
0-2. 0-3 since the trade. He
Technically.
played in 2.
Yeah.
And their own, but they lost last night to the Nets,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Nets.
They're not that
loving
good. The Nets, I feel like, are overachieving a little bit.
Definitely.
But you should. That's a team you should beat, I think. Also, I was watching highlights of the Clippers. Harden is back to his one-on-one ways.
That's interesting. I haven't seen any highlights, so I'm curious to hear.
I saw him just kind of just dominating the ball, almost like just where he is. And I'm just like, kind of a weird team to do it with PG and Kawhi there.
It's just, it's like the ultimate. There's not enough ball.
There's not.
There's one ball.
If he's there for sure, there's not enough.
And especially with Harden's comments about I am the system. I don't play in a system. Like that's just not going to work when you have two guys that are legit. And this is the thing too. Kawhi especially, he likes to work for his meal.
Yeah.
He likes to back you down and take you, take you to the post and then do a little fader. And Paul George can pretty much play any style, so he's a fine fit. But now it's like Russ has got to have the ball, and now Harden's got to have the ball, and now Kawhi, and they all play in ways that don't really fit. Like
they
Kawhi
don't.
Is not. You don't think of Kawhi as like a shooter. He can shoot it, but you don't think of like, oh, I'm gonna kick it to Kawhi in the corner. They just don't fit because PG can fit and PG will be your spot up shooter, but Kawhi is not a spot up shooter. Harden is not really a catch and shoot guy, and that's what they would need him to do when he doesn't have the ball. But he doesn't. He literally stands like this whenever he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah,
historically, and then Russ is Russ, and he will do Russ things.
That's what these NBA players are saying on their podcast too. In regards to this trade, is you're gonna like I said, you're gonna tell Kawhi and PG to stand in the corner while he has the ball, and then when he passes the ball, what he's notorious known to do is just stand there. He don't move. He don't pick for you. He doesn't flare for you after he passes the ball. You know what I mean?
That's why the Warriors are so successful. Is because Steph
constantly
is moving. One of the least selfish superstars of all time, and yeah, he's constantly moving, which is how that's how the Spurs won in the early 2000s, in the 2010s. Like their older teams were really beat you down and just great defense, but the 2014 team that won the championship, that was all pass and cut, and they
constant
just
movement,
killed everybody. So, and that's what Steph's good at, and that's what Harden will never ever do. Not that he needs to be Steph, but why wouldn't you?
Harden banks on, okay, when I get the ball, you're dead one-on-one, right? Like, I'm gonna cook you. Okay, but once it gets to the playoffs and stuff, that's just not what it's gonna come down to.
That won't work. I mean? That definitely doesn't work in the playoffs.
And has it ever?
It has never worked. It almost did against the Warriors.
They got a little close.
They almost beat the KD Warriors, which is
crazy.
And then they went
Pat Bev talks about that.
0 for 26 from 3.
He says that team. How do you have? Was that the one with Dwight? Yeah, right? Or
no, it was
Oh, it's just Russ.
Harden and I thought it was CP3. I think it was CP3.
Oh, and then CP got injured.
Yeah,
He
they
got
both
hurt.
did. Harden got injured but played, and CP3, I don't think he played.
Because, yeah, Pat Bev was talking about on his podcast about how when it was him, Dwight and Harden were on the same team, he was saying how, like, obviously Harden was like MVP Harden, but Dwight was like, no, I'm also like the top dog too.
See,
and they wasted that opportunity.
That's a little bit of revisionist history, I think, though, because Dwight
Yeah.
was only there for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was before Harden was for real.
Yeah.
Like, I am a one-man offense. It was before that, because Dwight was there. Let me see. He was definitely there in 2013, because I remember that was the big year.
After
Dwight,
Lakers.
Yeah, 2013, 2014, they had Harden and Dwight and Jeremy Lin, I think, was still on the team at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, when James Harden was really cooking, Dwight Howard was not there. Dwight left in his last season with them was the 2014-2015 season.
Yeah.
Which they did go all the way to the conference finals, and they lost to the Warriors.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even close. The year I'm thinking of is 2018. That playoff, the Rockets were up 3-2, and then lost the last 2 games. And you're right, there were some injuries, but that was the year where it's like, whoa, you guys almost beat the KD Warriors.
Yeah.
And in their full prime.
Yeah.
Because that team was unstoppable. Almost doesn't count for much, though. So.
Yeah. And that's us giving, Harden credit.
Harden was up.
He was unstoppable.
Harden was insane. It's good. It's a good thing he won MVP, because he definitely
He's
earned
got
it.
something to fall back on.
But that's it for our little league notes.
A good discussion, man. I've been wanting to talk about this Harden
there's
thing.
been a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, I just don't think. You would think it's like this is like playing 2K. It's like you would think that it would just work, but
Clipper fans are excited.
They should be.
The Clipper fans that I know are very excited.
Very small sample size.
Also a lot of new pieces. Fine. But I always felt
Well, not that many new pieces. Only 2. They only got PJ and
that's true.
And Harden. So.
But yeah, I mean, we knew our discussions about it. We never thought that it would work. There's just not enough ball there.
I think Harden is like a great pick and roll guy. Who's he gonna pick and roll with?
Yeah, who's gonna roll on that team?
Plumlee or Zubats?
Plumlee just got announced the injury.
Yeah, Plumlee's injured.
He's out.
Zubats is a very good pick and roll guy, but he's not. I mean, he's not in Capella in that regard. I think
he's not Capella. He's not Looney.
No.
Even, you know what I mean?
No, very different player. I think Zoo is very good, but he's not my favorite pick and roll partner if I was the point guard. I would say. But yeah,
enough Clipper talk.
Let's get into your some heat on the feet for this week.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, did you also hear Jamal Murray's out for a month?
He's out for a month? No, I did not hear that.
That's another guy that's like, man, I wish he could stay healthy.
I know, man. This was gonna be a big year for him,
dude.
because you saw how good he was in the finals,
and
hopefully he can come back.
And we don't really say this a lot about teams, but the Nuggets look unstoppable, man. Like,
I know, even with some dudes where I'm like, who is this guy? Like they were playing some dude named Giuseppe yesterday, or Gillespie. I don't remember his name. And Justin Holiday, Christian Brown. With a U.
With a U, yeah.
Who I like Christian Brown a lot, but their bench is not, because they're a little bit injured, like you mentioned with Murray. So they started Reggie Jackson, which is not ideal. No more Bruce Brown, no more Jeff Green. But man, the starting 5 it's them and the Celtics for the best starting 5. Because I mean,
I think so.
Their chemistry is off the charts. Aaron Gordon played crazy last night.
That guy, dude.
Warriors.
Yeah. What a great.
It would have been interesting.
He's starting to carve out for himself.
Yeah. It would have been interesting if Draymond was healthy. He was not playing last night.
Yeah.
That's a good matchup. Draymond and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
That's a physical, chippy matchup right there.
I've had this opinion maybe since the beginning of this year, because I also have him in fantasy. But do you feel like Clay is kind of getting old as well?
Yeah, the last few years have been tough. I mean, it's tough for him to come back from the insane amount of injuries he had.
The back-to-back injuries.
Yeah. And he did really well, last year, and he helped during the playoffs during their championship run in 22. But yeah, he's a step. He's just lost the touch a little bit.
Yeah, it's just not as it doesn't feel as dominating as he used to be.
And CP3 has definitely lost a step.
Yes.
He's lost his shot. I don't know what happened there.
Dude, and he was money before, so
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But he's not turning the ball over, which is good, which is what they want him to be, like just kind of take care of the ball and set up the players a little better than their backups from the future.
Yeah,
from the past.
True. It's a great security blanket.
So it's good for them, but like it's another shell of himself, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. He's still floor general, so that's what they need. But yes, on to
the next.
The heat on top of your feet. Or on the bottom of
defeat.
Your feet. Of defeat.
Of the
you picked out some shoes you liked from the last week or so.
I think one of them are okay. All three are really cool. One of them is pretty crazy, right?
Yes, I think it's this first one here.
Is that what you're going with first? Okay, cool.
4.
Oh, they're talking about
the next
we'll
one.
Get to
Okay,
that. We'll
yeah,
get
we'll
to
get
that.
there. 4 capital letters in his name. DeMar
DeRozan.
With a player edition.
The Kobe God.
Kobe 8.
Yes.
This was.
Oh, this is a 6.
This is a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh, the 8's the other one. Yeah, my bad. Kobe 6P. These are nice. I got a close up a little bit later, but this was against the Nuggets. No clue who that is for the Nuggets.
Good question.
Could be the other Holiday brother that they have.
Maybe.
But yeah, this was November 4th. Bulls lost 101 to 123. DeMar had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 fouls, and 7 of 16 shooting. Jokic had 28 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists. And Levine had 12 points on 4 of 12 shooting. The Bulls are currently 3-6. They lost by 1 point yesterday to the Suns in overtime. And the Nuggets, after last night's victory, are 8-1.
Yeah, wow.
But the Bulls, they got some work cut out for them. Yeah, it's time to blow this up.
It's time. They had the idea to do it last year. Decided to keep the guys together, but I think it's time. People are talking about DeMar kind of being a little older, not being the same anymore, which I kind of agree with also. But going back to the shoes, obviously he's the Kobe PE king. I'm sure PJ will fight him for that.
Yes,
but
that'd be a great fight.
But yeah, but those two guys, nobody can beat them too in terms of Kobe PEs. The 6 is a beautiful shoe that we've talked about a few times, and this colorway is dope. You're not gonna find it anywhere.
Sick. This is super sick, man. I like the contrast, like the all black like body, and then the tongue and the midsole and outsole all being like that red and blue. Super cool. Kind of almost like a Spider-Man thing going on. And
every 6 colorway, the snake print wraps around, and the swoosh almost looks like it's spray painted on, which is dope. It's super because sick. Most swooshes are like either stitched on. Like the dunk that we just saw was like freaking corduroy. You know what I mean? This one, it's just like sprayed on there. It looks dope though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, super nice shoe. I like these.
The 6 is awesome, bro. 4, 5, 6, maybe some of my favorites. Maybe not in that order, but 4, 5, 6 is awesome. I also heard the rumor mill is starting to pick up a little bit, and I'm hearing that the Lakers are potentially gonna go after one of the 3 guys here. So maybe DeMar, Zach, or Caruso.
Oh, Caruso.
I read that last night. I don't know how valid any of them are, but I might be down for Caruso, to be honest.
I mean, I would love to have Caruso back on the Lakers.
Out of the 3?
Yeah, probably.
And then Zach, I would take a bucket.
I know. DeMar, he's kind of like the anti-Harden almost. He still won't play in the system, but it's very different. Like everywhere he goes, he just takes a bunch of mid-range jumpers. That's all that he does.
Yeah, and we have a lot of guys that do that already.
I don't know what else he can do at this point anymore. definitely a bucket, but I see him going into more of like a Rudy Gay role for the rest of his career.
Yes, we're just
he's come in off the bench, score a bunch of points, give me a few rebounds.
Be a good locker room guy.
Yeah. And Levine, empty calories right now. I mean, the Bulls are bad, but
you're not getting the high-flying Levine from before. Not that we need that, but I think in terms of a bucket, if we would need one down the stretch or something, he would be the best one out of the three.
Out of the three, yeah, he'd be good. I honestly could see Vucevic, not that you mentioned him, but I could see him being.
I would love Vucevic on the Lakers, bro.
Option for the Lakers, just because Anthony Davis never wants to play center, and Vucevic can stretch the floor at least.
Yep.
Not a great defender, and I think we need.
Which is why you would put defenders. him in. Yeah. Which is why you would put him in there with either C Wood or something, or like
maybe.
or Anthony Davis or something.
Christian Wood's been pretty good at.
Not that bad.
Pretty good defender. Still not a fan.
I know. I remember it last episode or a couple episodes ago. You're like, Darvin Ham needs to stop playing Seawood.
He's been.
But he's been okay.
He's been fine.
He's been okay.
He's been earning minutes.
It's Cam Reddish now that you.
Oh man, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
I got another shoe that you picked out here.
Shout out DeMar, LA boy.
Yes, sir.
But yes,
Myles Turner. He's worn these. This is actually a different photo than the one you sent me. He's worn these the last two games. This is just from last night. What are these?
My favorite Kobe of all time, the Kobe 5.
Okay.
But also this is the Undefeated Kobe 5. This came out with the the streetwear brand Undefeated.
Yeah.
There is a special name for it because it's gold. I think it's supposed to represent his rings. Like the 5 rings or something like that. But as you can see, there's different color swooshes on it, and the whole gold thing. It was a special release. Shout out our boy Jason Capili, who was on our shot clock, one of our shot clock segments. He won this pair and owns this pair. Very expensive now, but I just wanted to feature it because I know Myles Turner is a huge Kobe fan, and just a cool pair that you don't really see out there.
Here's a closer look at those bad boys. Pretty cool.
You like the numbers?
Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Is 10 for the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's so dope, man.
Very cool.
You'd think it's a weird mixture of colors, but for me, it kind of
goes. Yeah, it kind of works. Almost looks like it could be on a KD or something. KD usually has kind of colorways like this.
Same type of shape, too.
So this game, this photo is actually a close-up from when they played the Spurs a few nights ago. But the first game from last night, they played the Jazz. That was on the 8th of November. The Pacers won 134-118, and Myles Turner had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, and only 2 fouls on 8 of 12 shooting in just 23 minutes. So
awesome,
pretty good. He was one of those guys that for a while I feel like people were like, we just don't know what he is. But I think he solidified himself as like he can shoot.
Yeah.
And he's a great defender. And that's that.
Maybe the top 5 defender center.
Yeah,
in the league,
I think
for
so.
sure. And I know Buddy Hield and him Lakers were trying to get them at one point.
Yeah, for like years.
Good luck, like. Yeah.
Aaron Nesmith, who was in that first photo as well, second-year guy, 24 points on 9 of 13 shooting for them.
He is on my watch list.
Good. He's very good
to pick up for my fantasy.
And then JC, Jordan Clarkson for the Jazz, had 33 points and 5 assists on 12 of 26 shooting. So
shout out to the Pinelli.
Great night for him. Pacers are now 5-3, and the Jazz are only 2-7.
Ouch.
Which I think they thought they were going to be a little bit better.
I think so too.
But
they also overachieved last year.
Yeah, way overachieved, and they're kind of a funky, thrown together team.
Shout out Laurie though, he's good.
Yes. And then I've got the last pair, which these are the crazy.
These are so wild, but I kind of like them.
The Kyrie.
Yes.
Well, not the Kyrie, but here is Kyrie in the Anthracite Wave 5. Feline.
Yes, the Feline colorway. This is also Kyrie's first shoe with Anta.
Is this his signature shoe? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point they're going to give him his own line. They would be, I think fools
Yeah.
not to.
It's just that one. It's just that whole routine. When you first get with with a company and you wear what the models they have already.
Yes,
Yeah. So I'm sure his model's in the works.
Quick recap: Kyrie was dropped by Nike after his anti-Semitic
Comments
and promotion of anti-Semitic material.
Yeah.
I think, was that 2 years ago? Was that just last year? It might have been just last year.
Might have been just last year.
So he signed with Anta over the summer, I believe.
Yes.
Maybe the end of last season.
Yes. It did take. He was a sneaker free agent for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure he had it in the works.
And he's probably Anta's biggest athlete in the NBA right now, I think, right?
Him for sure, and then probably Clay.
Clay, yeah. This was a game against the Magic on November 6th, and the Mavs won 117-102. 21 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds on 8 of 20 shooting for Kyrie. Very good line. Luka, 29 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 9 of 17 shooting. Banchero for the Magic had 22 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And the Mavs are 6-2 right now, second in the West, which is pretty good.
They look good.
They do look good.
Also, Luka is playing at an MVP level, so that has a lot to do with it.
And I think Kyrie, that fit is finally perfect.
Yeah.
Like, Kyrie does everything that he needs to on the offensive end to relieve the load on Luka.
On Luka, yeah.
And he's just a great second option for the class, Luka drive and kick.
Yeah.
And a Luka Kyrie pick and roll with Luka being the screener, that can be
deadly.
Super deadly.
Yeah. Awesome that they were able to figure it out, like you said, because it's like, imagine having to deal with Luka and then locking him up, and then the ball went to Kyrie.
Uh-oh.
What the? So awesome.
Here's a close up of them things. Pretty
so crazy.
They just said, "Hey, do you like cat prints?
Do you like cats?
I'll do all the cat prints.
Yes.
I'll do cheetah. I'll do leopard. I'll do house cat.
House cat.
They put a tail on it.
There's a tail in there. Some whiskers. Very shiny as well. I didn't notice how shiny.
Very shiny. It comes with a can of Meow Mix when you buy them.
That even looks like would that be a cow?
Almost, right?
I always kind of knock on the wild colorways. Like LaMelo's shoes are so wild.
LaMelo's
this is obviously
keep getting crazy.
Yes. This would be obviously in that same realm, but for some reason, I think the shape of the shoe saves it, kind of.
It's a very nice shape.
The shape is awesome, so...
Very fitting for Kyrie, I feel like.
I'm probably not going to wear that out, but on the court, why not?
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
Like, might as well wear it, I guess if you're Kyrie.
Yeah.
But yeah, super fun colorway, I think.
I also wanted to throw a funky one out there.
Might as well.
Because obviously we love the Kobe and... what was the other one we just did?
Kobe.
And Kobe again. But I just wanted to throw like a more fun pair out there and show some love to the international brands a little bit. So good pair. I'm sure he has 5 million colorways soon coming out.
Oh, I can't imagine
this. And international, the brands, the shoes have become a lot more accessible to people in America. Yeah. They were very hard to get even as like a year or two ago. But we talked about this before during our episodes 3 episodes ago, is that they've made it a lot more easier for us to get. Like the Rigor is a lot easier to...
Rigor, I can't believe that it would be so easy to get a pair of those.
Yes. And cheap. So pretty cool. And shipping is not too crazy.
But that's it. That's all for the Heat on the Feet. And for me on this episode, you had some...
Yeah, I mean, just
bits of news.
Just some new shoes that they've announced to come out. The KD4, which was a huge shoe for him. The Nerf package is coming out again.
Very cool.
In the fall of 2024.
Classic
which
colorway.
We love. The Dornbecker series that we talked about is coming out soon as well. And they have a Presto in there that I like.
Oh, that's cool.
The Jordan 3 that I showed you with like the oozing
that was cool.
Drip. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was very well done.
And shout out to the Dornbecker Hospital and all the kids out there that designed that. So pretty cool. Another KD4, the Galaxy, very famous pair, is also coming out next year. And KD again. is the face of the Nocta fall campaign, which is Drake's
They're very good
series.
friends, Drake and Katie.
Yeah. And so Katie was the face of his commercial and his ads. I believe it's called the Wave Runner shoe that Drake is releasing, kind of what's it called, an ode to the Jason Kidd Zoom Flight shoe. It looks exactly like it, and then also with some merch coming out. So that's Nike's newest campaign that's dropping.
So much Nocta stuff. Whenever I check sneakers now, it's like upcoming release, and it's like a Nocta headband. I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like a Nocta jumpsuit. I was just like, what sport do you play?
A Nocta monocle.
Yeah, and lastly, just announced also that Nike will be, for the first time ever, releasing college jerseys for college players. So some of the players I saw in there were like Bronny James, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, and some of these I'm not too sure if it's the Nike schools that they're doing or just all schools. It has to be, right?
Because especially with Angel Reese, she was just a big Reebok signing for their NIL deal.
Yeah.
So, because Paige Buchers is a Nike athlete, obviously Bronny's going to be a Nike
USC
athlete.
is a Nike athlete, yeah.
And USC is a Nike school. They were just gifted the reverse Grinches.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
But yeah, I don't know. We kind of briefly talked about it. It just feels a little bit off to me.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that the schools should be making the money off these kids, but I also don't know that Nike should. Right. I don't know how it works. I'm hoping that the kids get a cut of the.
I hope so too. I mean, I what I'm hoping is that people
it's very complicated.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're not taking advantage of the kids now that they have the NIL deals. So let's make money off of them some other way. You know what I mean?
I guess it's an open market, but the jersey thing does seem weird because Nike strikes gear deals with the schools. So is this gear? Does the ruling in the courts from a few years ago that started the NIL deals, does that negate, like, could Nike sell the 12th guy on the bench for USC? Could he sell their jersey?
Is it the whole team?
Without his consent? There's a lot of questions. I'm sure it's all probably fine. I'm sure that. I mean, I'm sure if the athletes do have a problem with it, we will hear about it.
Do you feel that has anything to do with, or do you feel like college stars are more in the spotlight now, or they just always have been, and this is just another like way to make money off of them or something?
I think college stars have always been in the spotlight.
Right? Yeah.
Because I think people just love like gathering around college sports in general because it's amateurs.
College sports has a big following.
It has a huge following because you don't really know what you're going to get year in and year out. I think is part of it. But it's like you root for not even underdogs, but you're rooting for these kids to see what they become essentially. Right. So you've had stars in college for sure, but I do feel like with social media and with NIL deals, like now college stars are the face of ad campaigns. Yeah. Now they are all over social media. Like you see the Nebraska volleyball team, they've been selling out stadiums, the women's volleyball team. And it's like...
That was pretty cool to see.
That's crazy. Yeah. Like it's definitely... You can become a star, a college athlete star. Like, can you imagine Jimmer in this era? Oh, man. Jimmer would make a ton of more money in college than he would have in the NBA in his few years in the NBA. So it's interesting. And it's good, especially, I think, for the female athletes. Yeah. It just gives... Because, honestly, in a way, female college athletes seem to be more popular than professional athletes. Yeah. In team sports, at least. So it gives them a chance to make some money that might be left on the table if they were to go professional in their sport. So that's cool, but it still feels a little weird.
Yes, I only asked just because I just feel like it's college athletes have so much more shine and light on them nowadays.
Yeah, it seems like it.
It does feel like there's a little more. Yes,
that's crazy to me.
But but I mean, it is what it is, and we are also going to be at ComplexCon
this weekend after this episode comes
out. The 18th, November 18th. We will have some really cool content out for you then. And these next few episodes as well. Some very exciting new stuff.
That is correct.
So thank you guys for watching. This is episode 28. And we will catch you next week on the Flippity Flop. I can't talk about it. I gotta save it for the episode, okay?
Yeah, shut up, dude.